is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez spared no criticism of the climate conference in Copenhagen. At a joint news conference he held with the Bolivian President Evo Morales on Friday afternoon, this was before President Obama announced the accord, Chavez called the proceedings undemocratic and accused world leaders of only seeking a face-saving agreement. He described President Obama as having won the Nobel War Prize and said the world still smelled of sulfur, referring to his comments about President Bush at the United Nations last year. Well, shortly after the news conference, I caught up with President Chavez for a few minutes. You sell more oil to the United States than any country but Canada. Your economy. Your economy depends on oil. Yet you are here at a climate change summit. What's your proposal?
El problema no es el petróleo. El problema es el uso que le dan al petróleo.
The problem is not the oil, but what they do with the oil. The United States is the biggest spender of oil and of all the planet resources.
El petróleo es un recurso valiosísimo para la vida.
Oil is a very valuable resource for life.
Energía eléctrica.
Electric heaters.
Habrá que ir transitando hacia una era postpetrolera.
We must have to transition ourselves to a post-oil era. And that's what we must discuss. Searching and developing new sources of energy. And that requires scientific research. That requires investment. And the developing countries must be the ones to assume this responsibility first.
What level of emissions are you willing to support reductions of emissions?
100%.
100%. 100%. We must reduce the emissions 100%. In Venezuela, the emissions are currently insignificant compared to the emissions in developing countries. We are in agreement. We must reduce all the emissions that are destroying the planet. However, that requires a change in lifestyle, a change in the economic model. We must go from capitalism to socialism. That's the real solution.
How do you throw away capitalism?
The way they did it in Cuba. That's the way. The same way we are doing in Venezuela. Giving the power to the people and taking it away from the economic elites.
Solo se puede hacer a través de una revolución.
You can only do that through a revolution.
President Obama, what is your reaction to this speech today?
¿Cuál es su reacción a lo que él dijo hoy?
Obama es una gran frustración.
Obama is a big frustration. In my opinion, Obama can become one of the biggest frustrations in the history for many people. Not for me, but for the people of the United States that voted for him and saw him as a symbol of hope for change.
De que llegara a ser cambio, pero ha venido a darle continuidad a las políticas.
But he has given continually to the most aggressive Bush policies, the imperialist policies.
What example of that?
Un ejemplo de eso.
¿La guerra?
The war. I told Obama when he took the initiative to come visit us in the Summit of the Americas.
Hablamos varios minutos. Y le dije, Obama.
We talked for a few minutes. I told him, Obama, let's work for peace in Colombia. That's what I am proposing. Let's get a team together to analyze the problem. But absolutely nothing. He is now installing 7 military bases in Colombia.
That's just an example.
That's just one example. And in Iraq and Afghanistan, policies of war. Guantanamo, it is a great frustration. And I feel sorry, not for me. You are from the United States. I feel sorry for you. because you deserve a government that takes care of the problems of the people of the United States and stops thinking about dominating the rest of the world, and just governs over the United States, eradicates the